Welcome back, everyone, to Sophia Track, JNation. With us today, and right now we have Bruno Freitas, and Bruno Freitas is the IT DevOps lead director, actually, on Unilabs Portugal. And Unilabs is the biggest, or one of the biggest clinical trial companies in Portugal that has been getting traction and more traction even with Covid-19. And it brings us probably the most trendy title of any session for JNation 2021, which is Java Fighting Covid-19. So Bruno, tell us how we can end this so we can have JNation on site next year, please. The stage is yours, man. Go ahead.
Thank you, Daniel. Hello, JNation friends. I am very pleased and humbled to be on this amazing event. I would like to start. Thank you, JNation, for this organization. Even if it is online, it's awesome how this is being done for this couple of years. And I'm very proud that we have this kind of event quality in Portugal. Today, I will talk about Java technologies, use it as a weapon to fight against this COVID-19 virus in Unilabs Portugal. Just a brief introduction about me. As Daniel said, I am Bruno Freitas, and I will share the experience as a DevOps and architect director during these COVID times. And here is my contacts, and please feel free to reach me about everything you may want to know after this talk. Just to give you some context, I will talk a little bit about the Unilabs company, and I will get into the topic. Unilabs is a healthcare diagnostic company, most recently known as COVID-19 test top performer, but mainly for our drive-thrus that we have for over all the country. But actually, in Unilabs, we were the first to create the drive-thru model in Europe. This innovative solution allows us to help on this fight while keeping as safe as possible. While keeping as safe as possible as employees, also our patients. But we actually do a lot of other diagnostics things all across the Europe as well. In Portugal, we perform more than 23 million tests per year and more than 5 million reports, with an history of more than 50 years, supported by 3,500 employees with 100 physicians. We have several diagnostic specialties, from pathology, radiology, until nuclear medicine and veterinary. We operate on our self-unit locations, diagnostic centers, and also through a network of several partnerships. And you can see some of them on the bottom of this slide. We work with several companies from NHS system and others from the private sector. In Portugal, we have a very good service coverage with more than 1,000 locations to serve our patients. And you can see the list of the specialties here, from laboratory, radiology, nuclear medicine, pathology, gastro, cardiology, genetics, and veterinary. And lastly, regarding Unilabs, worldwide is present in 3 continents, with 16 countries, with more than 250 laboratories and 150 diagnostic centers, backed by almost 13,000 employees. During this pandemic, this COVID year, let's say, we performed more than 9 million COVID tests. That was a big number. In the first times, it was hard to find tests even for the trials, but now we are performing with a very high load this kind of tests just to keep us safe as possible. And okay, now that I speak a little bit about me and Unilabs, I will get into the main topic and the reason why this is important to be aware of. Because in extreme situations, we rely on what is trustable and proven, and not is what is trendy or sexy. And Java is on the field helping on this fight against COVID. Now I will share some experience regarding Java usage during this pandemic here. I will talk about drive-throughs business, web application usage, football players and staff testing and monitoring, laboratory information systems, integration services, healthcare protocol standards implementations, mobile app development, React web apps and API backends, and all of this done with the Java ecosystem technologies involved. Starting with ARA, our business web application solution that is responsible for register all test orders. This web app was developed using Vaadin. And for those who doesn't know it, Vaadin is an open source platform for building modern collaborative web apps for Java backends. And Vaadin has more than 20 years of history. There are two ways of building Java web apps, using Flow and Fusion. And for Flow is mainly for Java developers, but if you are a front-end developer, you may find Fusion very attractive as well. In Unilabs, we are using Flow, and we are very happy with the results in terms of app by itself, but also in terms of productivity that we have during the development process, allowing us to focus on what matters, the business logic. And that is what gives value to our users, to our business. And of course, if you don't know Vaadin yet, you should definitely must try it. I will speak a little about Vaadin a little bit more, just to let you know. And I'm sure that everyone on this event knows about Spring Framework. Yes, we do a lot of use of this amazing framework. It's actually a standard, like not a standard per se, but like a facto standard. It is an amazing framework, and we rely a lot on this amazing framework. Together, Vaadin use it with Spring. We can build scalable, reliable business web applications with Java in a very effective way. Of course, even if PostgreSQL it's not a Java software, I think that is more than fair that I need to mention this powerful and trustable database engine that we also are using a lot. We are relying on that database for several years with no big issues. It's amazing how this technology is helping us also. And when in the initial times when the COVID arrives, a questionnaire model was needed. For example, to ask about patient symptoms. And Vaadin Data Binder was there. We helped this technology, specifically the Data Binder, was quite important. We create a system that allows users to configure the questions, what kind of questions and answers needs to be answered, and relate them to the exams. Of course, we do it in a way that we can configure that questions and relate it dynamically with that test for COVID or for something else that needs to be performed. That was pretty straightforward, with the Vaadin components being dynamically rendered and binded with this binder component. With the binder, the input components can be grouped together into forms, and easily we can create and update business objects with the little explicit logic needed to move data between the user interface and the data layers of the application. It was extremely useful in this context. And this is how it looks, the questionnaire for the end user. Then later, to address high people flux to our drive-thrus, we need a booking system to create availabilities in order to allow us to schedule COVID tests. At the beginning, we didn't have any booking system regarding ready to use in HARA. We start using an external system just for schedule and integrate the appointments to a REST endpoint using Mirth Connect. That I will speak a little more about this technology and software later. And of course, again, Spring REST template client. Later, with the help of Vadim Consulting Services, we're able to create a model on HARA in order to book COVID tests and directly from the front office web application that is HARA. And this is very interesting to be aware. When we work with Vadim, you can have support and consulting services from Vadim company as well if needed. And I must say, these guys are amazing. We team up together with a very effective way. They fully understand our needs. They help us on the designing process and development process. It is very, very interesting since they also have their basis on healthcare industry. Vadim supports LTS versions for 5 years for free and for another 10 years commercially. And since we are in JNation, let me share some code on stage, even if it is a procedure representation on our drive-thrus. If we need to represent on a software program our operation in our drive-thru models, we will have this schedule appointments from our clients, and they came up to our drive-thrus, and then we start iterate each one on the queue. We will check for the appointment details for each patient. Admit, we need to admit and fully understand if the data of the patient is okay. We collect the sample using a nasal swab. That is a quite interesting thing to do. Just kidding, but it's actually a real full need. It needs to be like that. And then we send the sample to the laboratory, and in the lab we get the result. And in the end, we notify the patient about the report and results, and then we deliver that report to the patient. And after we collect the samples on our network, as I said, they are sent to the laboratory in order to get results. And all of this lab process is supported by Clinidata Laboratory Information System. This software solution is provided by MaxData software vendor. It is interesting to see how close are our solutions, ADA and Clinidata, in terms of tech stack. They also use Spring, but with Google Web Toolkit, which is also allows like Vadim, Java developers to stick with Java and avoid JavaScript development, which sometimes we all know that it's not an easy thing to tackle in multiple browsings, and that front-end technologies, sometimes it's hard to tackle all problems that multiple and compatibilizing multiple browsers as well. And during this pandemic here, some features were also developed on this product. Some important features actually. We need automatic translation on the clinical reports, automatic validation of clinical results, early detection of outbreaks, and real-time communication with health authorities, allowing the COVID data updates daily. And that is what is providing the numbers to NHS systems and allowing the authorities to have a status on a daily basis. Was an impressive work from Max Data. They played a very important role in this fight. After Unilabs being selected for being charged for all COVID tests in football players in Portuguese league, we were challenged to develop a tool that tracks the team results in an efficient manner. The goal was to ensure that football was played in a safe environment, but we need to find a way to monitor in a team group where we can see the results and give feedback to the teams in a very effective way on a daily basis as well. And for that, we build a progressive web application that allow us to have this responsive design, both for desktop and mobile application. We again use Spring Boot for the backend, and with Vaadin, since Vaadin also support this kind of applications with an high quality and maturity level. Another important tool that is on the field is Mirth Connect. In healthcare business, it makes IT makes a lot of use of integrations platform. On this matter, Mirth Connect is widely used for several companies from different sizes. It's actually like a Swiss Army knife. I feel that I need to mention this great piece of software because since it's available for free as well, sometimes it's not well valued. And guess what? It's based on Java cross-platform interface engine that enables the management of information using bidirectional sending of many types of messages. We can use it for several challenges. It is a rockstar tool for handling healthcare protocols like HL7, Daikon, Fire, and many more. It's a seamless software supported by a next-gen company. With no user interface that we can show here, I would like to share with you the knowledge of this great Java Fire protocol implementation. For people who doesn't know, Fire stands for Fast Healthcare Interoperability Resources. And this is a standard describing data formats and API for exchanging electronic health records. This standard was created by HL7 International Healthcare Standards Organization. This is pretty well implemented. Is an implementation it's pretty well implemented of Fire's specification in Java. It is also being used to interchange data between our core systems with patient information and COVID test orders and results. Quite useful during these times also. 2020 was really a transforming year, not only Unilabs, but Unilabs as well was also triggered by this pandemic. In terms of digital transformation, it was done with a great acceleration. We were able to deliver a new branded native application to iOS and Google or Android Store. Among other features, we use this app to deliver COVID-19 results to our patients. For this, we team up with a great partner in terms of digital transformation, that was Legend. With a great customer experience always in mind, Legend was responsible for the front end, allowing us to concentrate on the back-end business logic. And again, on the back-end, we were with Spring Framework, and that is a bulletproof technology. Predicting that we will have a high demand for COVID testing during outbreaks, we knew that we can't manage all the phone calls on our contact center to schedule these appointments. So we decided to create a public dedicated website to self-book and pay the COVID tests. The patient were able to self-book the appointments with an HS prescription as well. And again, we do this. Was done with team up with the Legend for front end, and again we rely on Java Spring Framework. The front end was developed with the React, and as I said, the back end with the Spring Framework Java. Again, this solution brought a new and awesome customer experience to the battlefield. It was really a very interesting user experience. The patient has the possibility to book the COVID test online, select the best slot time for the test. Even the patient also have the possibility to put the car plate on the form, and when the patient comes to the drive-through, he has a special line to enter on that go line, and they had a barrier that opens when the camera recognizes the car plate that is on front of the line. Already in 2021, Unilab was asked to help on massive test scanning on schools and companies. This was done with the usage of antigen tests. Antigen tests use a quick analysis to detect the active virus in individuals, returning results within some time, 50 minutes. After this time, we need to register the test result obtained from the test cartridge. For that, we create a Flutter application that scans antigen test results and immediately deliver this to our patients. It was again very useful during this schools and companies' massive test strategy, as I already said. And again, we rely these times with Flutter for front end. That was a very interesting discovery in 2019, I think, and Java frameworks, Spring Framework for the backend. One of the last features that we had on our portfolio, it was the possibility that any authority can scan our reports, and this is validated online on Unilab's web platform. This is in line with the current solution being deployed in Europe regarding COVID certificate. Actually, if you can scan this QR code, and we will see that is being validated online on a website that we have that also was developed using React. Making a wrap-up in terms of Java ecosystem usage, I would like to emphasize this powerful combo, Spring with Vaadin. I would like to suggest that you give it a try. The easiest way to start to create web applications using Spring and Vaadin is to start with the template online accelerator on start.vaadin.com. Of course, you can also have the required dependencies manually on the project. The generated application sources that you can download after you customize some views and add some components. can be done with another tech stack if you prefer. By example, Java EE or Jakarta EE or whatever. It is available and you can start playing with it, download and start developing from there. Lots of technologies that is being used every day where Java is playing a big role. Besides the ones that I already mentioned, there is a list of some more of them. For example, for Spring, we also use the Spring framework by itself, but we also use Spring Data, Spring Security, Hibernate. It's a mature technology that you feel have a high usage of this framework as well. The ecosystem related with these technologies are awesome and playing a big and important roles in terms of business and in this scenario in COVID fighting. After 26 years of life, Java is doing pretty well. It's one of the most popular programming language in the world. Of course, all of this technology must be in the right hands, and these guys' hands are magical. We have done a lot of software development from home, but sometimes when we need to be more aligned and committed, we join forces on this war room. I'm very proud about the value that this team brings to the battlefield. Many thanks to them. You rock, folks. Ultimately, we all are guided by a purpose, and this is what really matters. This is what technology should be used for, and I'm very pleased to be part of. My last words will be to the frontline people that makes usage of these technologies and gives them all the meaning for all of this. Allow me to share this quick video, 2-minute video, in order to thank to them.
Está em estado de alerta para
Olá, mãe. Acordei e mais uma vez não te vi. Temos saudades tuas. Não vou à escola, não brinco com os meus amigos. A avó não vem almoçar connosco e não andamos de bicicleta na praia ao fim de semana.
Surgiu uma pandemia e a Unilab tentou ir ao encontro deste problema.
Eu sei, já sou crescida e já percebi que de repente tudo mudou. Um dia quero ser como os médicos, os enfermeiros e como tu, sair de casa com a missão de salvar vidas. E sabes o que é mais incrível? Eu sei que não estás sozinha nesta missão e existem outros heróis como tu.
And that was it. For me, was a really great pleasure to be here, and I hope that you enjoyed this talk as I have. Thank you again, JNation, for this amazing organization, and thank you all, guys. It was a really great pleasure to be here and share our experience with you. And that's it. And I'm open
thank you,
for
Bruno.
any question that you may know.
Thank you, Bruno, for bringing us the view on the field on this fight that is new to all of us. It actually impacted us in many different ways to each and every one of us. So it's always cool to see that technologies we work with daily help in some way to make life easier for the people fighting this pandemic. So that's a good value that you brought to the conference with that link between the tech world and what's actually happening in terms of pandemic fighting. So thank you for that. We do have some questions, at least we do have a question. And before going there, I knew that there would be some Vaadin question coming up. And we usually have someone from Vaadin, usually it's Maddie that joins us. Pretty cool guy that usually joins JNation. I think he was actually on three of the editions, or two, not sure now. But the question we have is about Vaadin Flow, and basically it's a question on how do you scale your Vaadin Flow apps? Do you use sticky sessions on that scaling, or how do you do it?
Yes, actually, we do that. We have a load balancer in front of all the requests, and we do sticky sessions using the client IP address. And at this moment, I think we have some kind of 2,000 users spread across 3 nodes that we have in place running, and it's quite comfortable. The challenge that we have sometimes it's regarding the database, not the application layer. That is the main challenge we have. For that, also we have some kind of polyglot persistence, or let's say caching system. We use, besides PostgreSQL, as I mentioned, we also use Elasticsearch and Redis for caching, and that it's scaling with that kind of approach.
Yeah, thank you for that. The next one is not a question, but actually I think I need to relay it because it's a congratulatory message from Patricia. So saying congratulations to all of you and great team. So I guess it's just
thank you.
Just a congratulation of your effort, and actually I'd like to transpond it to every single one working on the front lines to get us out of this as soon as possible. So with that, I think it's a wrap. We finished this session early, so if you want to join any of the other tracks, feel free to do so. We'll be back on Sophia Room at 6 p.m. with it's already late, so kind of forgetting the schedule now. How Kindergarten taught me how to pair program. So see you guys at 6, and thank you once again, Bruno.
You're welcome. Thank you from my part as well. Bye-bye. Thank you all.
Bye.